Well, it's 9 o'clock, we'll do pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to convene as the Walworth County Planning and Zoning Board. Do you have any old business? Hearing none, do we got any new business?
Make a motion to adjourn as a planning and zoning board.
Okay, got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Okay, I'd like to convene as the Walworth County Board of Zoning Adjustment. Is there any old business? New business? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
Second.
A second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion passed. Okay, I'd like to convene as the Board of County Commissioners. I'd need a motion to approve the County Commission Planning and Zoning Adjustment Minutes for June 19th, 2018.
So moved.
Okay, got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion passed. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to go over the claims.
I did, got one question on the Jane and One Stop. There's a bill here for a towing bill. That, I guess I question why it is our bill. They towed a vehicle from Malstead to Mobridge. And then looks like it was released according to Justin Jungwirth without proof of insurance or anything. $137 for towing. Why would that be our bill?
I do not know. That shouldn't be our bill. Usually the individual who has the vehicle towed, it's their responsibility to pay that.
Well, I think they arrested somebody or something.
That's still their tow.
He should have probably not released it until they paid it, right?
Correct. I don't know why they, normally what happens if you get arrested and there's no one to take your vehicle, they call the towing company. The towing company comes and gets it, and then the individual who is owner of the motor vehicle would have to pay to get it released by the towing company. It's not our bill.
They're coming right here.
Oh,
Can I ask them?
Where do they store them at?
depends upon who tows them. I know there's a Glenham towing company they tow, and then J&M keeps them right on their property in Grand Crossing.
We have a bill for towing vehicle from Jane and One Stop.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be the county's bill?
Is that the, Justin, is that the one that, J&M, can I see it? Alright.
Yes.
Was released without proof of insurance and that stuff. That would be a bill for someone that was detained on a warrant that wasn't valid and arrested. And brought to jail.
Did you say the warrant was not valid?
Was not valid. We did send that, the warrant was out of Pennington, Rapid City. They told us to hold the individual, so we towed the vehicle. And at that, we sent that bill out to Pennington County to be paid.
So this is Pennington County's bill, not ours.
So we shouldn't pay it?
I would hold off on it.
I just got one other question, Josh, from Selby Oil, balance and rotate tires. Is that just on one vehicle? It seems like a bunch of money just to balance and rotate 4 tires, $532. I mean,
Probably put them on to.
was that new tires and everything? I didn't look.
At Selby Auto or Oil?
So, oil.
Oil. I think that was, there was oil changes and
Oh, okay.
we had one that needed a new set, Scott.
Okay.
So that was
I mean,
some
just, I
combined.
Oh.
No, not,
was gonna say, wow. Okay, that's fine.
I'd have to look and make sure, but I'm assuming that's what happened. They're vouchered together.
Okay, that's fine. Any other questions on the claims?
I just have one question that, I vouchered it for that trailer. I thought you guys wanted me to check with insurance before anything was gonna be done with that. Because our insurance would have paid for repairs.
What, I guess what I would be more concerned about, I think what Shannon was concerned about is if there was anything else bent. I think that's what her concern was.
Well, I'm just letting you know our insurance would have paid for whatever repairs, but it's a little late now because the trailer's already been purchased.
Can't we still get the trailer fixed? For the county?
I guess I wouldn't know why not,
I mean, if it's bent, wouldn't we want it fixed anyway?
unless they can fix it themselves.
Yes, it can be fixed.
Any other discussion on the claims?
I'll make a motion to approve it as long as we take up this bill for the towing.
Okay, got a motion on the floor, excluding that bill. I need a second.
Well, second.
Got a second. Any other discussion? Hear none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion passed. Okay, consider motion to transfer funds from the courthouse building fund to the general fund.
You could do that now if you want. This would be for the roof repair. All the bills aren't in yet. There's probably still $25,000 to $30,000 outstanding total on the project between retainage on the construction contract and then the construction management fees from HKT. I'm thinking when it's all said and done, the total's gonna run around $230,000. So you could do it now, or if you want to wait till all the bills are in, I don't think it has to be done right now, but just so you know how much we're looking at total. I think we paid out a little over 190,000 so far, something like that. We got that number, Becky?
But,
What we paid out was at 196?
I had it in your tray.
Oh, I
You didn't grab
look
it?
in there yet, huh?
Did you find any more about the electrical? Was some of that theirs and some
I
of
haven't
it's
heard
ours?
back from JPH yet. Scott was gonna call them, Scott's sick, but HKG was gonna talk to them and see what they were willing to.
The total we have so far is $195,937.30. The reason I wanted this on the agenda is because people are asking how much is in the building fund, and there's 1.2 million. But I want everybody to be aware that the roof needs to come out of that, which will be, what, 230,000 you
Right
figure
around
total?
there, I think, yeah, maybe even a little less depending on what construction management runs, so. We're sitting on another pay request now, but we want to make sure some items are taken care of before we pay anything, so we'll hold on until the next meeting to get that done.
So we can hold off on the transfer, just so everybody's aware that that's gonna be coming out of that fund.
No, they haven't been out here for,
He did.
I think not.
I watched him.
I know, but it's not
It's still
working.
not working, yeah. Yeah, I
Right
watched him
outside.
do it,
Oh.
but, yeah,
You can look out the window here and see what we're talking
it
about.
still didn't do it as intended.
No, still not draining. Right here. That way.
Yep. So I'll give him a call after the meeting and see where he's at on that.
Okay.
I think we got a little bit of time, it's between now and the next commission meeting, to try and figure out what exactly they want to be compromising on. Take it from there.
Okay. Alrighty. Then we'll go to number 14.
Just,
Should we table that? Make a
Yeah,
motion to
let's
table
hold
that?
it. Can't table it.
yeah, postpone paying.
So what you wanna do with 14?
No, that
No,
was the last
we're
one.
talking about the transferring funds.
It's for the clerk law office.
Oh, basically, the administrative law judge's decision that was in Walworth County's favor is going to be, they have reviewed the decision, but it's actually basically appealing it, so, to the next higher level, which I believe is the Secretary of Labor. So, just kind of FYI, we're not done with that yet.
Which one was that for?
Sheriff's Department termination.
Okay.
We thought it was last time, but they have their rights to appeal, so there's still a couple more steps. Just wanted to keep you up to date on what is going on with that it's not over yet, so. But at least the ruling was in our favor, so.
Okay. Anything else with that? Now we'll go to number 15, discussion regarding record number 5594.
That's the Mars one.
Oh. This is, Mark Moss's property. Remember, it was, there is a, and I'm trying to remember if, it was never sold by the county, but he did come in and speak. The purchaser came in and spoke with the county. Do you remember when that was exactly, Becky?
About a year ago, I think. wasn't it?
Yep, and the property taxes are off, but there's also a lien for medical that was still out there against Mark Moss, and this has popped up as a defect against the property of the poor lien. So what they're asking is to remove the poor lien against the real estate that he purchased, which I think is what we agreed to do. But it showed up as a defect, so we're gonna have to have it done by motion, so they can correct it on the abstract office. Because property tax I checked with, and those are taken care of, so we're okay on that. It's just that there was the poor lien against the property that was going to have to be.
How much is the Portland?
The poor lien doesn't go away, it just doesn't attach. We're asking that you not attach it to the property.
That's a good how much?
About $21,742.
But we're not gonna forgive that.
No, this is just, and again, my memory's a little unclear on this because it was about a year ago. Mr. Dash came in and talked to you guys about, before he purchased that property from Mr. Moss, and was asking for this. Now, it needs to be finalized, because it shows up as a defect on their title insurance policy.
Okay, I would need a motion for that then. Okay, I got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second it.
A second. Any other discussion?
So how do we have anything attached to it for this medical lien then?
We won't have it attached to his real estate, which he doesn't own anyhow right now, but the lien the lien stays out there forever
On him.
on him, or anything he may acquire in the future.
Is he even around the area anymore?
Yeah,
He still lives.
Is he?
it doesn't say the date when he must have visited next door.
Well,
$812 for court-appointed attorneys.
yeah, he's still in the system.
It's been about a month since I saw him going in. We were over at Mulbridge one day and I saw him going into the house. I think he's still living in the house.
Yeah, he's still in our system as far as the state's attorney is concerned.
So who bought the property?
Luke Gosh bought it from him, isn't that correct, Deb?
So he's still living in the house?
So you know what, I'm not gonna say he's living there, but I saw him enter the house with some bags of groceries about a month ago.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Motion passed. Okay, number 16, set budget meeting dates.
Do you guys wanna meet with the regular meeting, or do you wanna have a special meeting, or to visit with all the department heads regarding the requests?
I think we should do it at the regular meeting. That's just my thought.
The first one is just gonna be, get everybody's wish list, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do that at a regular meeting.
Okay.
When are you planning on having this?
Is that the 17th?
The meeting's 17th.
Okay.
It's gonna be a long meeting.
17th July is the first reading of the budget.
No, that's just when we meet with everybody to
Oh,
find out.
Okay.
Just as a side note on that, you might wanna have a couple different budgets for your department, depending on what happens with the jail.
I can. I guess I'd like to visit with the committee about that,
Okay.
since we still have the committee's still active and whatnot, so. Because I got mine, the one done, so I just gotta turn it in. Finished
Yeah,
that
if everybody
yesterday.
could get theirs in, that would be great too.
But I can do that, Kevin, it's no problem. Whatever you guys decide.
You wanna set up a committee meeting for the 17th then?
I would, yeah.
But not today.
No.
No,
You got a lot of time, Jim.
I got till noon.
you guys pick a day, I'll make it work.
You can decide that later on, Jim.
Becky, what works for you here on your,
Just not the 13th.
no, it's not 13. Okay. Ryan?
You tell me.
Well, it shouldn't take too terrible long, should it?
No. I wouldn't think so.
Thursday or Friday?
This week?
Yeah.
Preferably next week.
Tuesday, the 10th, at 9. Anybody?
Sounds good to me.
10 o'clock?
Thank you, Becky, for throwing that out
Ready to
there.
take control.
Just make a decision.
even.
All right, we'll go to number 17. Kenny?
Mostly updates. Swan Creek, I talked to Jerry this morning. They're doing a bunch of dig outs yet. And they're putting geogrid fabric in. And then filling them up with pit run before they put the asphalt down. They're not doing much today or tomorrow, but hoping that Friday and Saturday they'll be able to lay some more asphalt. Subcontractor's gotten everything dialed in and is meeting specs. The feds are happy about that. Just so you're aware, I bought a skid steer from Butler. It was off another bid from that NJPA. So we don't have to bid it out. It cost $63,276.05. It includes scrap grapple attachment. It should be in, we should get it in a week, 10 days. It's got tracks on it, whatnot. It's brand new, it's got 2-year warranty on it.
Penny, can you repeat that amount?
$63,276.05.
Thank you.
Yep.
Penny, have you gotten any complaints from out there at all on the Swan Creek project? I haven't either. I just thought I'd check.
Nope.
You haven't? I think the one there's a brain out with a little goatee, he's the one. I think he catches all the complaints.
They're very professional.
And they have done a really good job and they kept the project really clean.
Yep.
You don't see a candy wrapper, a water bottle, nothing on there. There's some fishermen that could take a lesson.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything from the town, at the town level either, any complaints?
No, they're just an excellent construction crew. I'm gonna go to the community access grant and I'll get back to FEMA. There's been a change on that. We're not gonna go as far north, but the concrete actually starts Monday, this coming Monday. We're not gonna go as far north on Northern Plains Road because there's a wet water pipe there. And got kind of a nasty letter from Webb saying it would cost $7,000 to move the pipe. Well, it's not county property, so that doesn't pertain to us, so I gave it to Northern Plains. But we're not going to cross that pipe, so they're not going to get as much concrete as they thought. Do need to let you know that this project's going to cost the county over $106,000. The amounts that are being given to help defray the costs are not nearly what we had expected to get, so that's what that's going to be. We need to get those letters of agreement set up and get them signed for the people that are going to contribute. That should be done before the project starts. The project starts Monday morning at 8 o'clock. I wrote letters to everyone that lives. The road will be closed from the highway west to 304th Avenue. And I wrote letters to everybody that lives in that section, explaining how to get into town. They can use the road and use going through Norm's lots, but no trucks. And there will be an ad in the paper with basically the same explanations. That road's going to be closed for about a month. And there will also be a public service announcement on the radio explaining where it's closed. So that one's ready to go Monday morning.
Jamie, I'll get together with you with who they are and stuff.
And I was asked if DOT's doing anything with the intersection at all, where it's breaking up, where the project starts. Have you heard anything?
That's us.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all part of the project. It will attach to the asphalt.
I don't know why I get those questions. I'm not DOT or highway.
Maybe that's where I get, this is where I get my license renewed, so it's, you know, it's whatever. But no, that's all in the plans, they'll all be connected with the highway. Okay, FEMA. I need you guys to be aware of this. FEMA is not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed. And that declaration is not signed. And it could take months till we find out if it's even gonna be signed or not. So every penny we're spending is coming out of the county with no guarantee of any reimbursement. So I need you to keep that in mind before you're making some of these decisions that have got to be made.
I guess I'm not following you, Penny. These decisions that need to be made have to be done. It's not a question of, I guess that's how I look at it.
It's the variations of the decisions of what you guys are asking to have done and what, if we get FEMA, what pay for and what they won't pay for, is what I'm talking about. The culverts out on Von Thorstenson's road, they're 60-inch by 60-foot culverts, and we're putting header walls on them, so that doesn't happen again. The culverts themselves are $13,707.80. The estimate I got to install the 2 pipes is $95,000. So that will need to be bid out. Sitka Road, Clark Engineering was out and did their initial inspection. They do not feel that we need to add a culvert there or to replace the culverts that are there, just do the repair on the culverts. The price for an additional culvert there, that would be 72 inches by 70 feet with a header wall. And $14,138.80. The estimate to install is about $50,000. That will also have to be bid. You also talked about a box culvert being put in there and replacing the 2 culverts that are there. Whether we do a 20-foot span or if we do sectional, if that's the route you decide to go, both of those, either one of those is over $200,000. To add another culvert or even to put a box culvert in, we would need to have a hydrology test done and we'll run anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. I talked to Patty yesterday. FEMA will not pay to put a box culvert in or an additional culvert unless they deem it necessary. So if we go ahead and do this, we are not guaranteed in any way, shape, or form that we would get any money for that. If we ask FEMA to do the hydrology tests, that goes into a whole new category, and it could end up costing everybody in the county lots of money because they could end up being declared as a floodplain, and everybody in the county would have to buy flood insurance. And that is not cheap. So that's something else you need to be aware of. So that's what I've got so far for the culverts. We are going to be bidding out the bridges. I want bid letting for August 15th, I think is what, or 14th, I mean, I'm sorry, for the bridge repairs, and also bid letting for these culverts. I would like you to think about any of this and not make any decisions today, and we'll discuss it on the 17th meeting, if that's
August 7th?
whatever the
Or
first
14th.
meeting in August is.
Be the 7th.
The 7th, it's either the 7th, yeah, it's gotta be the 7th, yeah, August 7th, I'm sorry, Becky.
I mean, Penny, you don't think you guys are capable enough to add one more culvert out of Zabel's yourselves?
We have no equipment to handle a 7-foot by 70-foot.
Put them culverts in
culvert.
to begin with?
I have no idea.
You don't think you guys did?
I'm sure we had something to do with it. but not, take the crane, move the culverts around. And
I'm pretty sure you had down by Darrell Thompson down there, didn't you guys set them together down there? I'm sure you guys bolted them culverts
I
together.
don't think the county did. I think they said,
Both talking about they bolted them together.
well, bolting them together and moving them around is two different things. So, you know, yeah, maybe we're bolting them together, but you're gonna need a crane to move them around with. And that's why that estimate is so high, because of the equipment needed. But that's why I'm asking, no decisions be made today. I want you to absorb the dollar amounts I've just given you. Because again, that comes out of the county money, that is not guaranteed that FEMA is gonna pay for any of it. So we don't know what FEMA is even going to be here.
Good chance it's gonna take at least a couple of years before anything. That one place, that one park just got their money here a couple of months ago, and that was from 2016. So are we supposed to not do anything until we
No, what
hear
I'm
from that?
saying is
Or
you need to look at everything before you make decisions on what you want us to do.
we realize that, but
Well,
there's things that need to get done to get repaired.
I know,
too,
and we've
so-
been doing that. And that's all being documented, kept track of, so that it can be if the declaration is signed by the president. But with everything that's going on everywhere, I don't know whether to think we'll even get it or not. It's kind of a drop in the bucket compared to what Hawaii and everything that's going on in continental United States, with all the flooding and everything. So, I don't know. I just want you to be aware that this money's gotta come from somewhere, so, for us to do all this work to begin with. And the bridges alone are gonna be $250,000. Just the two bridges, and those we have to do.
Is that per bridge, Penny, or
Yeah,
together?
that's together. One's 125,000, and that's just cost estimates. What the actual bid's gonna come in at, I don't know. And the other bridge is 112,000.
And that's based upon what they find.
Well, that's based upon, yeah, on Clark's inspection of them, and they do our bridge inspections, and that was their cost estimate. But what the actual bids come in at, we don't know. So,
All right, anybody else have anything for Penny?
all right, I am gone after this meeting until Monday.
Have fun.
Everybody have a good Fourth.
Thanks, Penny.
thank you, Penny.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I guess, the two discussion items under sheriff and jail.
I put the first one on there.
Go ahead.
Kinda got together with a few people and kinda came up with a scenario to try to get some guaranteed money if we're gonna build a jail. I think that's the only way that taxpayers are gonna even take a look at it, is if we can get some guaranteed money. I sat down with a few people and this is kind of what we came up with. The one is just kind of an explanation of how everything would work. The possible jail contract, we're not gonna show the rest of the counties this one, we'll just show them this one. This one, the Walworth County Jail contract, that's just for you guys to see how close we could get. I wasn't planning on I don't think that the rest of the counties need to see that, but this possible jail contract is what they would see to show that they're paying.
Is that this one?
Nope. This other one would be to show that if they contract one bed space at $20,000 a year, which is due on January 2nd, they're only paying $54.79 for that bed unless they use it. Once they use it, then they would pay $40 a day that they use that bed, but they're guaranteed a bed space that way. So it's kind of like an insurance policy that they would have a bed space. If they don't use it, they save $40 a day. But this other one will show how many bed spaces we need and how we can get close by this one. And then I put in there also that, say they contract 3 beds, and they bring a 4th one over. For that 4th one, they'd pay $105 a day, because they don't have a contract for that one, but being they do have a contract with us, we're gonna give them a little bit of a break. Any other county not contracted with Walworth County would pay $125 a day. If you got that copy there or not, Josh?
Yeah, I got James.
You go, Gene.
So what do you guys think of this? Nobody else is doing anything about guaranteeing anything, so I sat down and tried to figure this out. So the only way that I know of that anybody in this county, taxpayers, are going to even take a look at this is if we start getting some contracts with guaranteed income. I did have a meeting with Warhawk last week, and there was 5 counties there. I showed it to them, said take it back to your commissioners, but we need to know soon because we're going to be deciding on this jail soon, and I haven't got a call back yet from any of them. I was asked to go up to Campbell County's meeting on Thursday night, or Thursday morning, and talk to them about it up there, about this also. Okay, don't everybody speak at once.
According to the report Brad gives, if we do something like this, we cut our income in half.
What's his reason for that? I mean, how does he get that?
Because I think with that, you're gonna turn a bunch of counties away. I think we can make our money on the day bed charge like we're getting now, whether it be the same or not, I don't know, that's a discussion for another day, but I don't know why we'd wanna give up that much control of our facility.
What control are we giving up?
You're guaranteeing them guys beds.
And we're guaranteeing ourselves income to make the annual payment on January 2nd. If we do this, our annual payment for that building is made on January 2nd. Then all we have is the operational costs.
So one of the problems I had with Brad's explanation on all
If I go over on our local holds, sorry, if I go over on my local holds, how do we supply those beds to them?
Well, they gotta understand that ours comes first.
If you build a 70-bed facility, you're not gonna have an issue with local holds, because I just don't see a lot of these counties ponying up the money, to be honest.
Then,
And that's why I think that, and this is my personal opinion, has nothing to do with anything else. If they don't want to pony up money for the brick and mortar, they don't come here.
I agree.
Because it goes back to the hotel issue. If we're the only hotel in the area, you can be part of us, or you can go to Sturgis or Pier or somewhere else.
And then we cut out our out-of-county income.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that's just my personal opinion, you guys. They've been riding on our backs for years. Again, that's just my personal opinion, has nothing to do with any of this.
But you know, Jim, I guess I look at it too, I'm agreeing with Jamie, I mean, they can turn their backs on Walworth County in a snap of a finger, and then everything is on Walworth County. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. They could. I mean, I rolled the dice in my days, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if I would roll them dice. I don't know if I'm that big of a gambling man. To me, that's asking a lot of the taxpayers to support that. When they all could just, and you know
There's
it,
always gonna be a demand for bid space, always. Especially with the way society is going.
You're correct there. You were right.
Then why does Falk County only have 10?
We don't wanna discuss Falk County. That's their business, not ours.
it is, but it's still reality too, though.
I'm not gonna say anything about Falk
That's
County.
fine.
One of the problems I had with a lot of the presentation, I feel like it was so one-sided. Everything was based on if we have that thing full,
Potential income, yeah.
potential income. If we're running at 50%, we're in trouble. And based on the numbers we've got right now, I mean, we have to really go out and start getting people to bring their people here, or we're gonna be in trouble. The other thing is, in his presentation, he never talked about the cost of the additional nursing staff. He never talked about the cost of the kitchen staff. None of that stuff was in there. I mean, that's a $200,000 additional budget item.
Takes the same staff to run that one as we run this one.
No, it's we don't have a full-time nurse staff, do we? And according to
We
the,
don't need a full-time nurse staff in the new one.
I thought on the 70,
Be like-
that's what he said.
That's what he wanted.
That's what he wants.
So, I mean, how does that come into
Like
picture?
Falkland's got a nurse the hospital sends over so they don't take their prisoners to there. That
Yeah.
stuff can all,
PA comes over there.
that stuff can all be worked out. That's
Yeah,
kind
but
of
that-
minor in my mind.
But that's all money, though. It's all money. This whole thing revolves around money, whether anybody likes it or not, it does.
This is the only way I came up with that we could guarantee our annual payment of that building. Unless you guys got some other ideas that we haven't heard before. I don't know how you're gonna guarantee an annual payment.
I still believe we can make it with out-of-county income. They've proven that.
See, I think that, against that, Jim, we've got all that county income, that other county income, but we've never shown what does it cost us for that extra county stuff coming in here? What have we,
$9.52 a day.
no, I don't agree with that at all.
That's what the
Where
numbers
do you
show.
think it is then?
What did we have to do to get these other counties, we had to increase our staff by how much?
No. Have the same staff whether you have 2 people over there or 30.
That was Brad's theory.
Recommendation.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, I just don't see where those, we keep throwing the income side in it, but we're not showing what the actual costs are coming back out of it. For
You
these
got the
beds.
lights on, you got the heat on, you've got the staff over there anyway, whether we house an out-of-county person or not.
from January
Or whether we
1st,
have 5 of our own or 15 of our own.
from January 1st of 2017 until May, we took in $722,235.33. And if you pull this kind of crap, that's gonna go in half. Then where are you gonna come up with your paying half of, taking half of it out to pay for it, put it in the general fund?
We've got paid from January 1st of this year?
17.
I said 17.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's why I asked. I didn't hear the 17 part.
But no matter what it is, Dave, you still gotta figure out your cost. What costs are. You're only talking about revenue. You always talk about costs. You talk about revenue. If you got revenue, there's costs to get that revenue.
Okay,
That's just part of business.
So this year's budget's 1.3 million, and in a year and a half, we've taken in 700,000, so we're still behind 500,000. We're still behind at least a $500,000.
It will be that way whether we take it out of county prisoner or not.
The way I got it figured out, if we contract out, it's gonna be 450,000 a year to contract out. So we saved money. Now, do we wanna put that out to the public too? That's what I'm asking, that's why I put this on here, is to have this discussion, to see which way you guys wanna go about this jail. Because we can definitely put out the other side too.
It's gonna cost more than 400,000 to contract out.
That's,
One thing, you're
that's
gonna have to find a place to
another
put 'em.
opinion.
You have to find a place to put them in.
And I don't foresee a problem with that. But this is why I put this on here, is we gotta make a decision soon about it, and nobody's come up with any idea of how to get guaranteed money. You're gonna just leave it up to somebody to say, okay, we think it's gonna work.
I totally agree with Marion. It was, I'm not agreeing with Brad's presentations at any of the meetings. To me, I think he was very, I guess if I was probably in his shoes, I would have done the same thing. He was trying to sell. No, there's no question about it. He was trying to sell a building. And anybody that's sitting in this room that doesn't agree with that, well, I think you're only fooling yourself
I would guess that's what we hired him for, wasn't
to
it?
sell it. Tell the facts. Don't be the salesman.
Yeah, one of the questions I had, he talked about the new facility and everything else, but there was never, he talked about if we closed the facility, what it would cost to ship them out. But then on top of that, he didn't include the facts that, well, now all of a sudden we don't need 15 staff over here because we don't have a jail. So where did those dollars go? We've got 15 people on staff that we got figured in our budget right now. If we close the facility and contract these out, how many people are we going to need for transportation? 3? 4? Yeah, that's a number I don't know. But if it's, let's say it's 4 as an example, and we're figuring
I'll just tell you, 3 can't do it.
3 can't do it.
You won't have law enforcement in the county.
No, I'm saying additional.
Because if you guys close the jail, those employees all go away.
Yeah, I'm just talking 3 additional from what the sheriff's department currently has just for transportation. I have no idea what the number might be or what it needs to be.
No, I'm saying my current 3 couldn't do it and keep law enforcement.
No.
That's
I'm-
different budget
Right,
anyway.
that's a whole different budget. I'm saying from the jail budget, we've got 15 staff there. If we close the jail down and contract these out, can we get by with 3 staff from the jail to do transportation? And if that's the case, then we've got 12 employees that we don't have a budget or a cost for. That number was never thrown out there. So if we lose 12 employees, I'm just gonna throw a number out, 60,000 for benefits and everything else, that's $720,000 of savings to the county. Now take that in transportation, that looks like a pretty promising thing for the county, what it's costing us. But that number was not thrown out there. I mean, I thought when he was hired, and like he was hired before I came on, that should have been numbers that should have been put together as a, here's what would be if this was happened, this is what would be if this had happened. And I think it was so one-sided that the public, all they heard was if we built a new jail. We didn't see the actual facts if we closed the jail and what it would cost us and what we'd actually pay out of county. I'm also wondering if that would be the case, if we did forward contract, if we went down to, I'll use Falkton as an example, they've got rooms down there. If we contracted, could we go down there and say, we'll guarantee you 10 people? What can we contract it for? I bet you they'd be tickled pink if we went down there and signed a contract with them
I'm sure they would.
and guarantee them that many. I mean, and we'd probably be able to contract it for less than what we're charging ourselves right now.
But you know, and that's just like with Brad, you know, to me, there should have been options that the taxpayer had. Right now, we got, Brad was throwing out 2 options, 50 or 70 bed jail. There's nothing ever said about, I've had this question asked me, what is wrong with the 35 bed? But it's all here 50, 70, because we always hear this, you need the exact same amount of people. Well, I think people are tired of hearing that you need the same amount of people, because I think in all reality, everybody's not that quite naive to believe that you can run something with this many people with the same amount. I don't think everybody's that naive. But anyhow, there was just no options. Here it is, throw out this 50 or 70 bed. There should have been options. Brad should have had some options. Well, he swears up and down that he can't do nothing to this building over there. And that's in Brad's eyes, because Brad just got brand new in his eyes. But there is no options. Brad never gave him other options. And I think that's where a lot of time was spent, when there should have been other options into this design. I know we need, you know, this ain't good over here.
He did a 50 and a 70 because the commission requested that. And then he also did a renovation one. I remember.
Well,
Did he not?
him and his renovation one was, what the hell did he have it up there at, 5 million or some damn thing, I mean,
No, it was high.
yeah, well.
I just want to tell you guys, whatever you do, I think it's important that the public gets accurate information. Because I'll tell you that down in Itasca, after Spencer's comment, which was an error, and Spencer knows it was, and I refigured that, I just about have to walk around Itasca with that in my hand. Because I've been jumped, I can't even tell you how many times about this $9,000 for a 3,000 acre farm. So I don't care what information you put out there, but please, please put right stuff out there so the people have the right idea before they make a decision. Because that's just caused a huge problem in Itasca. He didn't say it at any other meetings, but he did say it at Itasca, and I'm telling you, I've been jumped daily about it.
Well, as far as this goes, my opinion, I wish you guys would have came to me and talked to me about this. Instead of, to me, I mean, I talked to Marion, I talked to Scott. Kevin, I didn't call you or stop over because I was pretty mad. So I just left well enough alone, and I've calmed down about
I
it.
put this out as possibilities. I told them at the meeting, I said, this is a possible deal. We're not necessarily going with it. I'm trying to get feedback from other
I know that
counties.
emergency managers don't have anything to do with jail stuff.
No, but
And
the sheriffs are there and
And
the deputies are there that can take it back to
Yep,
to
and I
the
understand
county
that's what
commissioners, and
happened.
that's what I told them to do.
Yep, and I understand that's what happened, and it is what it is, it's done. But I think we need to talk about this, and we should
I
have
brought it up here
brought
for.
these people to the table and discuss this stuff with them, our current contracts.
Which was supposed to have been done 2 years ago.
Yep, and it all stopped.
Yep, so now that we're gonna make a decision here in the next couple of weeks and nothing's happened since then, That's why I took it upon myself to start something.
I fielded phone calls, and I think I took care of those phone calls, but that's my 2 cents for right now.
So what did they tell you on these phone calls? Are they for it, are they against it, or you tell them? I don't give it.
Two of them said that they can't do that.
Okay, that makes our decision a lot easier then, if we know that.
So,
To me, that makes our decision a lot easier.
Two of them you said were for it, and two of them weren't.
can't afford to do it.
Is that just talking to the sheriff, or is that talking to the commissioner?
No, those are from sheriffs.
And that's, but they're supposed to go talk to their commissions, because we got budgets coming up, and say, here, you know, we could plan for this.
But if this is possible, I mean, we'll need to tell them then that they need to take this back to their commission.
That's what he did.
That's what I told them when I was over there Thursday. Take it to your commissioners.
Okay.
Wouldn't every county have record of roughly how many inmates they average per year? They have to have that.
I'd have to look it up, but I know one off the top of my head.
I have it right here.
County, Carson County paid us $70,000 last
For
year.
last year, I got last year's daily
For each county.
for each county.
So I mean, you would think that every one of those counties, as a commission, could look at that and say, well, hey, we average 2 or we average 3 per day or whatever it was that we're shipping out. Here's what we can budget for, we have the budget for that. I just can't, why they're not willing to put a little guarantee out there to help support something like this is, I guess, I don't know why the Walworth County residents have to support other counties, whether they won't, you know, if they're gonna bring their prisoners here or not. I think that's the uphill battle that we've got with the residents, in that they don't want, everybody I've talked to, it's the unknown. And until we can throw guarantees, it's like, you know, I don't know how you do it without doing something like this.
There's no guarantees on inmate numbers.
I know, I understand that, but I mean, you look back in our county, since 2002, I think is the numbers I saw, we haven't fluctuated a whole lot. We've gone from 9 to 10 to 9 to 11 for the last 18 years, 16 years. So we're pretty confident that, I would think we'd be pretty confident.
That's an average time, because some of those days go higher.
I understand that.
There's times that we've got 24 of our own over there.
And there's days that we've had 3 or 4.
Yep.
I guess if you guys don't wanna do it, we'll just put it out there that, feel that, we don't need to do this, and doesn't matter to me,
But I'd like to meet.
but I can guarantee you, I know what's gonna happen.
I'd like for the committee to meet on this. Kevin, can we meet on the 10th again and bring this up again?
We can.
Okay. Jim, you all right with that?
Jim, I just got a question for you. How, don't you think that's a little on the risky side? We know good and well if a guy would go through with this project, you know it's gonna be 10.5 million. I mean, hell, that don't even take, a second grader could figure that one out. That, you know it's gonna be at least 10.5 million.
That's what,
Pretty
that's what
sure.
the commissioner, that's what the,
Pretty sure you could say another, I don't know,
We-
30%, and I'd bet you'd be pretty close there. But anyhow, you actually think that you'd be willing to risk not knowing and build this, knowing that that Walworth County could be broke so fast.
I do that every year, Scott. I buy $2 million worth of euros with no guarantee I'm gonna have one left to sell in the fall.
Okay, I'm glad you said that though, Jim, because that is your decision. We don't, do you think that it's right for us to take every taxpayer in Walworth County and say, guess what we're gonna do? Now, what you do with your personal is your problem. But to me, what I'm gonna be doing for each and every one of you guys in this county, I think that's pretty bold when this could backfire. You gotta think the worst.
It could have backfired in '09 when they built that one. It could, you
Well,
never know what the
when
future's gonna
When you're
bring.
talking $200,000 over $12 million, I mean, there's a hell of a lot of difference.
Our decision, in my mind, is either 50-bed jail, which would house, 35 we call full. We've had nearly that many of our own. Or add another 300,000 and add 20 more beds. That's the only decision I think we got to do something. And $10.5 million isn't only for the jail. It's offices, it's quite a bit of stuff in this building. I don't know, I don't have those numbers.
Did you guys talk to Leaf and see what
Broke
what
down.
it would bring down to a 35, 40 bed?
No, I never saw him again. You have to call him.
Yeah, give them a call. I mean, I don't care what you guys do, it's your guys' decision. I mean, obviously I care, but otherwise I wouldn't bring the stuff to you. But, I guess it's ultimately your guys' decision.
Okay, let's go on to the next item.
So are we good on the temp?
Discussion regarding nurse.
I would,
You did that.
I would like to go on to exec session on that.
I would
Under
agree
legal.
concerning a legal matter on that.
Okay, need a motion for that? You got a motion on the floor, I need a second.
I'll second.
Got a second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay, motion passed. 19. Okay, we'll go to number 19, discussion regarding emergency manager. Doing a application and stuff for that, is that what we're gonna do here?
No, you're gonna inform everybody who they're under.
Well, the emergency manager, to me, is gonna be, is us, not individuals. Just like the weed board, I mean, weed sprayer, he just has, everybody's not his, I mean, the commission's is his boss. Just like emergency manager. He's gonna answer. I got a feeling that's what happened to the last few. So we don't want that happening again. We've already lost some good people and we need to lose any more like that. Anybody got any questions on that?
What's this now about weed?
The same, well, when we had the weed sprayer, there's reasons why he quit. And I said, he doesn't answer to individual people. That's what I'm saying.
I think by law, the weed board oversees.
What I mean, I know what you're saying, but I'm not talking about that.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Individuals that talk to him or her.
I think, for clarification, it's basically who these individuals report to with regard to decision-making and supervision. Like you're saying, the weed person reports to the weed board, not to anyone else. The emergency manager Basically, in the chain of command is the county commission, then the emergency manager. There is no supervision in that chain of command. And I think that's what you're trying to address with regard to clarification as to who these people fall underneath and who they report to and who they get direction from. Is that
Yes.
an easier way to say it? Because I think there's been some, in speaking with you, there's been some confusion on that, so.
Yes. So when we hire somebody,
So with the application coming in, who's gonna review and who's gonna hire it?
That's a county commission decision. Who's gonna be on the interview board and who's going to do the hiring, that's a county commission decision. You five.
how many
need to decide.
applications we got now?
3.
I think we need to be interviewing the 3.
The interviews are scheduled
Are they? 4.
the 9th at 9:30, 10, and 10:30.
Who's going to be your interview panel then?
Well, Ted and Patty are gonna come. Ted before Hawk.
Oh, okay.
The state.
Who else does the commission want?
I'll sit on there.
I was planning on being there because I'm on the emergency management board anyway.
You can't have more than 3, because then we have a quorum, or else if you want to have more than 3, you have to post it as a public meeting.
We did last time, we just had 2. So it was fine. I would think that should be enough.
So you would interview and then present that to the commission then?
Has the weed board done anything about?
No. I haven't heard from him.
May I ask a question about mosquito spraying in the interim?
What's that?
About mosquito spraying until they get somebody hired? Is there, like, do we have to just contract with somebody else or what? Is the county equipment available if we have somebody certified or?
I thought there was always something with Roger Walker or something like that, wasn't there?
We had established rental rates for it, but that was on a Walworth County personnel did a spraying basis for insurance purposes. That's not to say we couldn't make it available, but I believe we contacted our insurance carrier and they suggested it would be better to have Walworth County personnel operate the piece of equipment instead of having somebody else do it.
Okay.
So what do you do Thursday evenings, Ryan?
You're not certified.
Generally not spray
Certified?
mosquitoes, yeah.
Yeah, you're not certified, are you, Ryan?
Oh,
Jim, you must be certified.
I think you need a certain, I'm not sure, but I think it's called a public health certification. It's one test you can take, but if we had somebody in Itasca that would take it, but we don't have any equipment, so.
They have a backpack sprayer down there, Roger Walker's telling me, that's never been out of the box. Here, he said, why don't you just go pick that up and take it down and give it to a casket? Well, I can't do that, but if this board could give it to a casket, if they wanted, it's one they got with them other ones on a grant deal. We could give it to a casket if they wanted it, and he said that'd work fine. Not around spray mosquitoes.
Yeah,
At that time, he told me, I don't know how long they'd had it, but
Penny's
it had never been taken out of the box yet.
Penny's right, yeah. You still have to be certified,
Yeah.
Even with backpack sprayer.
and we'd have to surplus it.
Ryan just said about the insurance.
Right.
well, if it was their property.
That's why if we give it to a casket,
That's
we'd be out of the
out of
picture.
our hands, yeah. We could surplus it and transfer it.
You know, I don't know for sure, I think some other little towns, but I know Itasca for sure we didn't spray last year, there just weren't any mosquitoes. But we had a grant of $750, so we have a chemical down there that actually belongs to Itasca. I don't know about the other towns. Because we applied for that, each town has to apply for it, and the leading pest supervisor ordered the spray, and we each had so much spray. I don't know about the other towns.
There are some from the other towns too. Jake was working on that to see like
Who had what?
who had what, and I don't know how far he got with it.
Yeah.
Can't these other towns contract with, like, the city of Mobridge to do that? And have them come in and spray?
No reason I couldn't.
Yeah, it could. I think Mulbridge is certified. They do their own, but
Because I think Glenham actually has Mobridge come over and spray over there, don't they?
We used to have Shannon come over with the counties.
Oh,
I can tell you that, Itasca would be interested in the backpack sprayer. We spray once a week, and this year especially, but normally we spray every Thursday night.
I'm gonna be putting together a surplus list for the next commission meeting, so if that's something that you wanna do, we can go over
Well, I would suggest we do it. We just won't, it's not doing us any good. And that would just get out of our hands. We wouldn't have to worry about it. It would be up to the city of Itasca to get somebody to run it then. And
Yeah, but in the meantime, that sale wouldn't happen soon.
Well, it could be on the 17th. I mean, we could do the surplus and transfer. We don't have to sell it to them. We could surplus and transfer, and they can take possession of the 17th at the next meeting.
What happens if there's more than one town that wants it?
Yeah, that's my question.
Mine too.
I guess we'd have to bid against each other then.
We could just decide who to give it to, too.
Yeah.
that's exactly right. Yeah, we decide. as a
And I'm not
commission. Or
here,
you
I'm
decide
not here
as a
to make
commission.
trouble with any of the other small towns. I'm not saying that that the city of Itasca would be opposed to paying something for it. You know what I'm saying?
just think of all the money you can make spraying mosquitoes.
Yeah, I
In these other
know.
small towns.
Yeah, because I know that's what Don wants to spend the rest of his evenings doing. But yeah, I don't expect us to get preferential treatment over Glenham and Java.
I wouldn't be
either,
comfortable
so-
selling something that was purchased with, or that was acquired with grant funds personally.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope there, so.
Basically, just treat it like, if we didn't actually purchase it ourselves, we got it on a grant, I would say we surplus it, like Ryan said, and then give it to the first requester. Because we
Then I'll-
don't have any money in it.
I will request it.
To sell
as
it,
of
so-
today.
Well, Itasca sprays more than anybody else.
I would, but yeah. And is it just like a little man pack? I mean, it's
Yeah,
not super
It's a
expensive.
backpack.
So yeah, it's what, $100 if you bought it at a store or something maybe?
I don't know what
I think it's, I don't know.
My recommendation would be is to put it on the next agenda to surplus it, transfer it to City of Itasca based upon their request today to have it. What do you think, Ryan?
Sound good?
We talked about it at our city meeting last night. I was to find out about it, so yes, we are officially requesting it then if that's the way it works.
I agree with Ryan, we don't need to sell it since it was granted to us.
And then can we find out from Jake, because I don't want to take any chemical, it's not ours either, but we will take the chemical that is ours out of the county shop and take it down and store it down there, so it's not a problem. But I don't want to take any more than what's ours either, and if maybe Jake has those numbers.
I hope he does.
I don't
Yeah.
know that he does because he had to figure it out on his own from what Shannon had.
I'll see if I can get a hold of him. Like I said, I don't want to take anybody else's, but I just kind of hate to leave ours sit there, so.
I seen some papers on that yesterday when I was there, so I can go back and look at them closer and see if I can figure anything out.
Yeah.
I would think that they know about how much chemical they use every time they go.
Well, and I know for a
Even if you
fact
go
that
every
The year-
Thursday.
The year before, used all of our chemical, the year before, and we got charged for some of the spraying.
They're not bad much.
So,
Of course, they
we
never
didn't
bothered
use
me.
any of it last year, so we had $750 worth of spraying.
Too bad or so.
I would be happy to settle for, but he has sprayed, I believe, at least 3 times this year. So he's used some of that $750 worth. However, and maybe he knows, well, how much he used each time, and we would be happy to work out that particular thing.
Just out of curiosity, why do you guys spray so much?
Just because we baby our weekend customers, they want it so they can live outside, and you can. From probably Monday to Thursday, it's rough, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's pretty good, and then it starts wearing off, but
You
You know,
guys
the-
don't even have water, like Sally.
we got mosquitoes that are as big as cats. But,
Sally's on water.
yeah,
Well, any other discussion on that and emergency management? If not, we'll move on. I wouldn't know why.
No, because we'll put it on the agenda for
Oh,
next meeting.
yeah, surplus.
Okay, we'll pass number 20 and 21, we don't need either one of them two. Okay, number 22, old business. Hearing none of number 23, new business.
Jamie and I have an OHE hearing, equalization hearing today in Pier at 1:30 for Larry Danielson. That's our only appeal.
Correct.
Okay. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor, need a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.